So JP, how is it that you were able to get a business that's only 8 months in business still approved for capital? That's a great question. We're going to be diving into that in this video. Time in business is one of the greatest barriers to accessing capital for many of us that are brand new entrepreneurs or business owners. Or maybe you've been operating for a while in that business, but you haven't kept the documentation in place to demonstrate you have, so you look like a new business. In this video, I'm going to help give additional context to a simple but powerful strategy you might be sitting on that can, in certain lending requests with certain lenders, can get you over the barrier of time in business. So stay tuned for the whole video. For those of you who are new, I'm JP. I'm going to be your business banker and your capital strategist going forward. Welcome to the invitation. So many of you as entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, or business owners, one of the biggest things you're concerned about is your time in business. That 2-year time in business conversation is something I shot a video about earlier on in the channel, where I talked about how that is kind of like this hard line, ingrained barrier or underwriting metric that many of us think is just inflexible. And that's not true. You have to stop and think about so many millions of businesses that are in this country that have been funded over the years that have not met the 2-year barrier. You have to figure out, ask the question, what was so special about them? What was so important? What did they do different? In this video, I'm going to unlock something that you might be sitting on that can help you be one of those funded businesses under that 2-year or even under the 1-year threshold. So let's get some quick context first on the talking points. First, let's talk about the time in business problem in the first place. So the first thing you're going to hear is come back when you're 2 years in business. And this is a true thing. It happens and it is a legitimate barrier. All right. I don't want to make it sound like the 2-year in business trope is not real. It is. All right. How much evidence do I have that this person can successfully operate this business? That is really one of the biggest things that we're trying to figure out as banks and lenders when evaluating your time in the industry. All right. So 2 years of operating history helps answer that, but it's not necessarily the only evidence. All right. Pay attention. A lender or product may also consider the following: industry experience, management experience, employment history, professional credentials, personal financial strength, credit, liquidity, collateral, business plan, revenue, and cash flow. The first few that I named, you need to bookmark for a second. Put an asterisk next to them. Time in business is one way to demonstrate experience. Time in industry can be another. All right. So this is going to be the hidden variable that a lot of you are sitting on that you could be deploying. Time in industry. All right. Applicant A, for example, opens a plumbing company 6 months ago. Before opening it, they worked as a licensed plumber for 12 years. They managed projects, worked with customers, estimated jobs, managed subcontractors, built industry contacts, and developed technical expertise. Let's talk about applicant B. Also owns a 6-month-old plumbing company, but 6 months ago, they were working in an entirely unrelated industry and had no prior plumbing experience. So are you really the same risk as applicant A as you are applicant B? Put it in the comment section down below. I want you to actually answer this question. As simple as it sounds, drop it in the comment section. Applicant A or applicant B? Are you guys the same risk level? Who's the better bet? So why job stability matters before entrepreneurship. This one I have to put my foot down on because I have been advocating from the rooftops for years as a banker. Stop taking your job for granted. Stop taking your consistency in your job for granted. In our current cultural and economic time, being a business owner and an entrepreneur is just so sexy, and having a job is so frowned upon for some reason. One of the greatest variables in becoming a successful business owner or entrepreneur is going to be your previous job experience and expertise. The time in business, time in your industry, the position you're in your industry, what you've grown to, your credentials. These things have material value in assessing you as a business owner and entrepreneur. Stop taking your job for granted. Stop job hopping. Stop staying in the same position for years and never growing. Stop passing on those designations and credentials you could be earning certifications or licenses in. Stop taking it for granted. And then on the back end, just thinking that entrepreneurship is going to sprout out of the ground for you. And you're going to become some magical entrepreneur or business owner, multi-million-dollar business owner. You have to lay the foundation. And we value it as banks and lenders. All right. So don't underestimate the value of your career before you leave it. All right. If I had to surmise that, your W-2 career may be helping you build expertise, credentials, industry relationships, management expertise, income, savings, retirement assets that you can leverage, personal credit, and professional reputation. Every single one of the following, those bullet points that I laid out, can literally help in your lending request. Not to mention your actual success as a business owner. All of these can potentially strengthen your transition into entrepreneurship. Your job isn't necessarily delaying your entrepreneurship. It may actually be preparing you for it. Your job is not delaying your journey to entrepreneurship. It may actually be preparing you for it. So industry alignment can matter. Let's talk about that for a second. Career, business, capital. That's the order of operations on this topic. The more logical the transition, the easier the story can be for you to understand. Teacher to tutoring company, electrician to electrical contractor, chef to restaurant owner or catering company, nurse to healthcare staffing business, construction manager to construction company, marketing executive to marketing agency, hairstylist to salon owner. I bet you weren't thinking about it like that. A lot of you haven't been thinking about it like that. The business is new, the entrepreneur's expertise isn't. And when you're starting a business, we lean on that heavily. This is why the personal guarantor thing exists. It works both ways. If I'm going to hold you liable as the business owner for a business debt, why would I not value your expertise as a business owner in qualifying for the debt? Think about it. All right. I'm not asking the lender to believe you can learn an entirely new industry while simultaneously learning how to run a company. You're not asking the lender to believe you can learn an entirely new industry while simultaneously learning how to run a new company. So how do you prove it? This is key if you're going to leverage this. All right. How do you prove it? I've been doing this for 10 years. Make the experience verifiable. A lot of you struggle with this. You don't know how to document your journey. You do not know how to document your journey. A lot of you are shooting yourself in the foot. So depending on the situation, the following could include a resume, employment history, licenses, certifications, professional credentials, contracts, previous management responsibilities, industry-specific education, existing customer relationships, business plan, professional references where appropriate. Build a strong brand with the people you're working with and working for. They can leverage you towards the independence that you're looking for. Stop taking it for granted. Experience you can't demonstrate is harder for an underwriter to give value to. Experience you can't demonstrate is harder for an underwriter to give value to. It's difficult for them to go off your word when they're about to give you something tangible on the other end. Let's be realistic. When this strategy won't work, to be fair, when won't this work? I don't want you walking away thinking 10 years in an industry automatically gets you approved. That is not the goal of this video. Don't do that to yourself. Some products have a hard time in business requirement. All right. If the product requires 2 years of operating history, 15 years of industry experience may not change that requirement, to be fair. An experience won't automatically compensate for poor credit, insufficient cash flow, excessive debt, lack of liquidity, weak projections, insufficient collateral when required, and other underwriting weaknesses. I am not telling you that your time in an industry or your work experience will override hard line underwriting factors and variables. That is not what I'm telling you. We're not trying to trick underwriting. That is not our goal ever on this channel. We're trying to identify every legitimate strength you can bring to underwriting. I want you to have long-term success. This is the difference between me as a content creator, that's a business banker and a capital strategist. I have a vested interest in the long-term success and viability of your business. A content creator alone is only there for you to absorb information and to click and to watch and maybe use a link that they have in the description. They don't give a damn about the long-term viability and success of your entrepreneurship and your business. It's a big difference. So let's get back to capital strategy. Which bank is going to give you the $100,000? All right. Which capital product best recognizes the strengths I already have? I have been driving at home on this channel for video after video. There's so many different things that you're sleeping on that could be useful if you apply it to the right lending request. All right. So maybe one lender heavily weighs operating history. Another product considers management expertise or experience. Another requires collateral. Another focuses heavily on cash flow. Another may be designed specifically for startups. Applicant plus business plus strengths plus capital need plus the right institution plus the right product. That's what it boils down to. These variables and ingredients, what leads you to approval success, to that $100,000 request, the $50,000 request, the $200,000 request. Having these things in place is what's going to make the difference. It's not either or. It's a collective. It's a collective. All right. If your business is new, don't assume you're starting from zero. Think about what other factors that can validate you in your business and make you low risk. Your career matters, your experience matters, your credentials matter, your relationship matters, your financial history matters. It matters. The business may have created 6 months ago or been created 6 months ago, but you may have spent the last 10 years becoming qualified to run it. The business may have been created 6 months ago, but you may have spent the last 10 years qualifying to run it. I want you to comment down below and let me put in the comment section qualify, so I know you made it all the way to the end of this short but jam-packed video. Also, I want you to like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel so the channel can continue to support you. If you want to learn more about me and my professional background, get in the about section. That's a great starting point. Get in the about section, in the description section rather, to tie in with my book, which this channel is derived from, The Invitation. It's a self-published book, bridging banks, credit, and capital, and giving you the kind of strategies you're getting in this video in depth in my book. You will understand the framework this channel is built off of, which is important if you're going to spend your time and energy and go out and make decisions based on who you're watching on YouTube, on the internet. Maybe you should do some deep diving into who you're getting your information from. I'm putting that forth through my book and my credentials in my career. You can find both in the about in the description section. At least start there. Other than that, I want each and every one of you to stay focused, stay in motion. And as always, I'll see y'all soon.